So, Pac-Man, an arcade classic in 1980 where you're a pizza-inspired character, going through a maze eating as many balls as you can, don't take that in context please, all while being chased by the four iconic ghosts, Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde. Odd name for ghosts, but okay. So where do you go from a one-screen arcade to a multi-screen adventure? Well, 4 years later on the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, or Mega Drive as some people call it, we got some sort of an answer. Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures. A point-and-click adventure. Wait, what? That's an odd transition. But to be fair, the consoles at the time didn't have that many point-and-clicks. So how did they spice it up? Well, besides removing the normal pellets and fruit and score and the actual ability to control Pac-Man, instead you are a cursor for a slingshot who shoots at things, occasionally fire a power pellet to help Pac-Man's sorry ass, and telling the guy where to look and hope he just heads straight there. So basically a point and click where you have very little control over the character. While the first two episodes aren't too bad, it certainly clicks on how terrible of a concept it could turn out in the last two episodes. What do I mean when I say episodes, you ask? Well, if you watch the tutorial sequence, the game takes place in a TV show, and each objective is basically its own episode. Episode 1 has you go to the right one screen and get a bottle of milk for Pac Baby. Not sure why we can't just go to the store and buy some bottled formula milk, since later on it's proven that he has infinite money, aka the quarters people spent to play his arcade game back in the day. Episode 2 has you paragliding to almost certain death for a flower, only to go home and see the family already got a flower for some girl named Lucy. What the fuck? The third episode has you hunt down your son's guitar, and the final episode has you go against the Ghost Witch and her gun monster. Alright? But that's not all. Each episode has a new location. Episode 1 takes place in the local town, you can't go anywhere else, it's about 4 screens long. Episode 2 unlocks the mountains, where it's about 5 screens long, 2 of which requires to go through a paragliding and kart riding minigame. Episode 3 takes you to Metropolis, which has a lot of screens. And Episode 4 takes you through all of the locations, but through different screens. Well, it technically unlocks a new area, but there's the catch. The final area takes you to where the final battle is. But in order to even enter the final battle, you need to go through the 3 previous areas and get the 3 ID cards. Ladies and gentlemen, backtracking done horribly the episode. The only positive thing about it is you do go through new screens of old areas, except for the village. Once you get the 3 ID cards, you go through the sewers, climb up the stairs, and end up in the factory, where you insert the ID cards in the right place, and you and Super Pac-Man team up to defeat the God Monster. Piss easy. Then again, this game isn't built around combat, so who thunk it at the time? So, remember how I said earlier that you have barely any control of Pac-Man? Well, starting with episode 3, you really notice how irritating it gets. Especially since Pac-Man works on his emotions. When he's the happiest as he can be, he will be the most cooperative and the most bravest. If he's sad, he'll sometimes do what you say, but in some cases just don't do anything, especially when the objective is right there. Come on, you Pac-fuck! And when he's angry, he tends to beat on things a lot when he doesn't get the results desired. Hell, he sometimes yells at you in his anger. However, that's not the only problem with it. Sometimes you want him to just get to a location. Well, sometimes he gets distracted by, well, anything, like a hot dog stand, and you have no control of what he does, even if you tell him where to look. And if the fucker's too busy, you basically have to wait till his animations are done just so you can continue on with the plot. It's basically padding the game through events that you get no control over. It really makes you appreciate all other point and clicks out there where the characters 100% listen to you because you have actual control. With that said, I think I'd only recommend you watch it. Don't buy it because it's frustrating to control, and once you see the ending, that's it. The only minor difference you get is the letter Pac-Man writes to you based on the percentage you get, where you get rewarded with passwords for testing and apparently a time trial. Want a better way of knowing the passwords without 100%ing it? Look it up online. It's 2017, so information on the game is available. But even then, the passwords don't change anything gameplay-wise. Either emulate it if you really want to play it or watch someone's playthrough of it online. You can beat in about an hour to 2 hours tops if you know what you're doing. Episode 4 will make sure of that. I'll give credit to the game where it's due though. At least it tried to make a character to player interaction. It just did a horrible job at it. Point and clicks just have the character tell you what you need to know, and the occasional fourth wall breaking, but there is never really a connection. But Little Jim in 2016 came out, and it actually made it possible for their connection to be established. With that said, I'll see you guys when I review that game.